Hello, little ones. My name is Appalonia, and I've come a very long way just to read you a story. I'll be with you every night, reading you a bedtime story. The first one I'm going to read is Dave and the Tooth Fairy. So here goes. David Alexander Curtis had a wobbly tooth. He wobbled it, he wibbled it, backwards and forwards, but it wouldn't come out. One day at breakfast, Dave sneezed. It was his biggest sneeze ever. His tooth shot out of his mouth, flew across the room and disappeared. David searched everywhere for his missing tooth. He looked high and low. He looked under the table and under the chairs. No tooth. He looked down the side of the sofa where everything went. He found crusty crumbs and his favorite car, an enormous comb and 3 old buttons, but no tooth. No tooth meant no visit from the Tooth Fairy. No visit from the Tooth Fairy meant no money. No money meant no kite. And Dave wanted a new kite very, very much. On the way to school, David met his friend Zizway. "Do you believe in tooth fairies, Ziz?" asked Dave. "Yes," Ziz grinned. "The tooth fairy's been at my house 4 times. Dave was determined to find his tooth, but he couldn't. Then Grandad came to stay. "I sneezed and lost my tooth, Grandad," Dave said. "Once I sneezed so hard, all my teeth flew out," Grandad laughed. "Did you find them?" asked Dave. "Oh yes, they didn't get very far. Maybe you'll find yours," said Grandad. That night, Dave had an excellent idea. When everyone was fast asleep, he tiptoed downstairs. Grandad was asleep on the sofa. In a strip of light near the sofa, on a table in a glass, a complete set of teeth smiled at Dave. Whose teeth do you think they are? He picked up the glass and tiptoed back upstairs. He put the teeth under his pillow, got back into bed and fell asleep immediately. Far, far away in Tooth Fairyland, a fire sat alone on duty. She had been a tooth fairy for a very long time. A fire liked her work, but she longed for a job where she could meet children in the daytime when they were actually awake. Then Dave's tooth call came. A fire quickly prepared herself for her journey. She spread her bright wings and flew into the night towards Dave's house. It was a clear and warm night. She heard the hoot of an owl far away, and a bat came close as she flew. At last, by the light of the moon, she floated into Dave's room. 1 tooth, 2 teeth, 32 teeth. I can't afford all these. Back she flew over the trees, over the hills, over the clouds, into Toothland. It was her fastest flight ever. In Dave's house, Grandad woke up. He stepped on something sharp. "Ouch!" "It's Dave's tooth," he whispered. Grandad crept upstairs very quietly and very gently. He lifted Dave's pillow. He nearly jumped out of his slippers. His own teeth were smiling at him. He did a swap, and that was the quickest swap ever. Just before the sun peeped over the hills, a very tired tooth fairy flew back into Dave's room. Under the pillow, she found just 1 little tooth that looked exactly like a crusty crumb. Where have all those teeth gone, she wondered. Now, it was nearly daylight, so Fire quickly collected the single tooth and put some money under Dave's pillow. Then, with a flash of wings, she set off once again to Tooth Fairyland. When she arrived back in an office, Fire found a message. She had a new job. Yay! Great news, great news! Her best news ever. Fire was delighted. In her new job, she would meet lots of children in the daytime. Do you remember that she really wished she had a job where she could meet children in the daytime? At 8 o'clock exactly, Dave Alexander Curtis jumped out of bed and looked under his pillow. He ran downstairs to see Grandad. Dave was delighted. He had enough money to buy his kite. Grandad had his teeth. Fire was manager of the kite shop where loads of kids went shopping. Near his house, on a field, on a hill, David Alexander flew his kite, his biggest kite ever. Now, I hope you enjoyed that story, but now it's time for bed. So, good night, little ones. Snuddle and cuddle. Let us ride on the sleepy cloud to a land where dreams are far. Sleep, O precious sleep, until the sun has time to peep. Good night, sleep tight, from Appalonia the Storyteller.